Hi guys, welcome back. For those who are new to my channel, my name is Erin Lee. I'm a multi-genre author with a crazy amount of books. I'm a hybrid author. I have both traditionally published as well as indie books out there in the world. I also run an indie publishing company called Crazy Inc. I'm basically everywhere. If you dare me to try it, I will. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about readers, where to find them, how to get them, how to keep them, and basically everything I know that is readers. This really is going to apply to indie publishing more so than to traditional. But either way, I mean, I think readers all work the same. But I think one of the perks of indie is that you kind of have a little bit more access to readers. Sometimes when you have a smaller group, it's easy to manage. I mean, it just makes sense. So today I want to talk about everything I know, and really I could probably do 10 of these videos, and honestly probably will, about readers in indie. Number one, they're hard to find. Don't be fooled. New authors will often think, I'm going to put out a book, I'm going to pay all kinds of money for a great cover, pay for the edits, do all the right things, and readers will just flock to me. Amazon will recommend my book, it'll be all over the place, and everybody's going to love it. And while that's a great thing to go into indie with in your mind, be ready, because you don't want to get disappointed. It is hard to grab readers' attention. It takes a while. I've been publishing for 6 years, and I want to say it was my second year before I really started getting traction with readers. There are secrets to how to get and keep readers, and that's some of what I'm going to talk about today. Again, I will make more videos about this because I think there's a lot to say about this. The number one thing I've learned about readers, on top of them being hard to find, is once you have them, they're actually pretty easy to keep. Get to know your readers, spend time engaging with them, and make them part of your process. You would be amazed at how often readers want to be part of the journey. Indie readers in particular are really interested in getting to know the author behind the words. They like being involved in the stories. They love when you name a character after them. They want to see that appreciation. They want a beta read for you. They will review for you. They are priceless. If there's another thing I know about readers is they are literally the fuel that will keep you going on those days when you want to quit, which are going to be a lot. So when you do get a reader, I don't care if it's just one, make sure they know you appreciate them. Send them thank yous, give them shout outs here and there, share their reviews, thank them for the things they do. I'm not saying you need to send every new reader a free paperback. You don't. And you probably shouldn't. It's not good math. It takes a long time to build a readership. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with inviting them into your ARC group or to be part of your beta process or just getting to know them. Some of my best friends in indie books are my readers. They're people who would never want to touch writing a book, but they sure as hell don't mind coming at me saying, Erin, where's a book 2? Or this book needs a book 2, or hop, hop, let's go. I've got a particular reader who never, ever, ever, I can't see her online without being nagged about a particular book 2 she wants. There's actually 2 of them that do this to me every time, and I'm like, at the same time, there's something to be said for that kind of enthusiasm when readers really want that book too. When readers really want to know what happens next. That is invaluable, and you have to cherish that and make sure they know that you feel that way. Now, where do you get readers in the first place? Well, great question. I've done videos, and you can look in the Indie Author playlist about how to launch a reader group. I would start there. I'd also start by commenting, being interactive. I mean, this YouTube channel, what do I have, 70 something subscribers? I'm not expecting other author tubers or even people watching these videos to just reach out and be, hey, Erin, I'm going to have to earn my dues. I'm going to have to build up this platform the same exact way I did on Facebook, the same way I did on Instagram, the same way I have in every single part of social media that I'm really deeply immersed in and there every day. And I will make those friends, and I will form those relationships. And when I find readers here, the same things will happen, and you will see that as this channel grows. In the meantime, my readers mostly come from Facebook. I've got a couple from Twitter. I've got some that are actually followers of my blog and have subscribed to my newsletters, and we correspond a lot through email. I also have different readers for different books I write. So for people who are multi-genre, you will find, and this can be tricky with multi-genre because there are times when you will actually lose readers. For me, most of my core readers are horror. And that's just because at the time when I was sort of exploding and doing my best with rank and all of that, I was a horror author. I had a great network and I call them tribe. I'll have to show it to you when I can get into that other room. It's not the middle of the night. A big flag I made for them that said tribe, and we were a really tight group for a long time, and it was a lot of fun. And I had some of my best readers, and many of them are still with me in that group. Unfortunately, what happened is I started to turn my attention away from horror a little bit. It was getting really dark in my actual personal life with my therapy work, with just a bunch of things going on, and I needed a break from that. I needed to write some more like uplifting, happy ending type stories. And for me, I can't write as well if I'm not doing something I enjoy. So I needed to listen to that voice. And my hardcore diehard readers, they came with me for the ride. They laughed at me and said, how the hell is Erin going to write a contemporary romance? And you bet your butt they buy those contemporary romances now. And while I will go back to horror, and I have dabbled in some of it, and I actually have a whip right now that's so horrific, I don't even, I have to take breaks from it because it's really gory. Those readers will be there for all of it. But you will lose some readers when you make those switches if you're making big jumps. I don't think that, a tinier genre jump like horror to maybe like psychological thriller would be as hard to keep readers. But when you're like me and you literally will go from sweet and wholesome to straight up kill, that can be harder. The thing is, when you have a strong, true, core tribe readership, they will follow you. And what I have done to keep their interest is I've made it a challenge. Do you guys think I can write a contemporary romance? I don't know. Let's find out. And I've kept them involved in the process. And now I get dares like, okay, go for a historical romance, but you can't do that. Oh, you bet I can. And even though I'm like, I don't want to do a historical romance, I do it. Even if it's a short, to show them, look, my brand is crazy enough to try it all. My brand is that I do it all. And here you go. Here's your historical romance. Is it going to be the best historical romance in the world? No, it is not. But it's going to keep those readers proud of me, which matters. It does. It's going to keep me challenged, trying new things. And a couple of times what it's also done for me is it's made me say, wow, I really like this genre. And I've stuck with it, which is exactly how I got back. I don't know that I ever was really there into romance. So where I was like, romance, oh my God, shoot me. Like, how boring can we be? Because I was really into like psychological thriller and anything really, really dark. Oh, I found romance can have quite the fascinating stuff. If I can figure out how to write sex successfully, I may head over into that world for a little while. But hey, that's just me, but I got that from my readers. So here's what I know. They're hard to find. When you get them, they want to feel appreciated. Don't be that entitled jerk with the ego who's suddenly too big for their first reader. My first reader to this day, I check in with her. How you doing? How have you been? She doesn't read my books anymore because, well, she does. I shouldn't say that. She waits until I write under E.L. George because those are the only books she likes. She doesn't like the other genres. And that's totally cool with me. We've talked about it. She's like, I feel bad you've written like all these other books. And I'm like, no. Her name's Sharon. You don't, hey Sharon, you don't feel like that. If what you fell in love with my work for was the real life, sort of non-fiction but fictionalized case management stories, I'll write them again. Look for this pen name, E.L. George. She's actually one of the reasons I actually went with a different pen name for that, because I do have a pretty big core group of them that are into that. And when it's ready, I'll message you. Oh yeah, don't let me miss. And I'd love to beta read. So that's something to be aware of and be open with your readers about. I also know that once you do have those friendships and relationships, they are pretty hardcore. They will stick with you through more than you think. Don't underestimate them. Your readers you will find readers, and you'll know them, who will be honest with you, who will get to a point where they're comfortable enough with you that they can say, I don't know what you were thinking, but yeah, that book, don't do that. Or, yo, don't write with her again. Not a good co-write for you. And they will give you some really honest feedback. Now, are you going to listen every time? Of course not. You got to follow your own gut. You got to follow your own, sort of, where do I want to be? It's your voice. It's your work. Your name is the one slapped across that book. But man, some of the stuff readers have to say, listen to your readers. They know. And they will tell you stuff even when it hurts that will help you. So yeah, what else do I know about readers? Hard to find. Pretty easy to keep if you treat them right. Probably will see things about your work that you won't. Will often challenge you. And when they do, take them up on it. I think another thing I've learned about readers that I didn't expect to find is that they care more what you think of them too than you would think. Like, it shocked me to have that. This is an example. It shocked me to have that early reader who I just, as an author, totally appreciate. And I've always liked her anyways. We just have a lot in common as people. But for her to be worried that I would be upset that she wasn't reading my horror stuff, that surprised me. Readers don't owe us anything. And maybe it's just my own personality. I'm very anti-entitlement. So to me it was like, why would you owe me that? Because you don't. You don't owe me that. Nobody owes any author anything. But authors owe readers appreciation. Because without readers, what are we doing? I guess we're still writing to ourselves. I don't know why we're editing, because who likes that? If it's just to ourselves, maybe we have OCD. I don't know. But that did shock me about readers, and that's something that I only learned pretty recently. I'd say 4 or 5 months ago, really recently. So for 6 years, I was just blind to the idea that readers care what you think of them too. We obviously care what our readers think of us. Right? It's why we make certain choices about how we conduct ourselves online, what we share on our pages, what we share about our personal lives, what we don't. But I didn't really know that readers cared in reverse. And that's really cool to know. It's not that they weren't already human, but it humanizes both ends of it. It puts us on the same, look, we all love books. Some of us like to make them. Some of us like to read them. Some of us like both. Hopefully as authors we like both. But when do we have time? I don't know. Anyway, that's everything I know about readers part 1. I'll do this again and again. I will be making blogs, vlogs, whatever this is called, because I don't still know the terminology. Everything I know about egos, everything I know about authors, everything I know about author pages, everything I know about, you name it. I'm going to spill what I know on this channel as we go. Hell, everything I know about me. You ever heard that story, it's freezing in here for once, and I don't know why. But that story, everything I ever needed to know I learned in kindergarten? That's how I feel about Book World. 6 years in Book World, everything I needed to know about life, that's what it was, I learned in Indie Book World. I swear that's true. I'll make one of those too. I've got a ton to share. I hope you guys will stick with me on this ride, just like a reader. And it goes for you guys too. I know I have some new viewers out there. I have some silent viewers out there. I appreciate you. I see you. I know you're there. I get it in the little channel analytics. Welcome to my crazy life, my crazy reality, this whole Book World thing. I have some major announcements coming in the next few months. They will turn my writing world upside down. Stick with me on this wild adventure. Believe it or not, there's always a method to my madness. Some awesome things are coming. I look forward to getting to know you. I appreciate you just like my readers. And I can't wait to build an AuthorTube tribe. That goes for the authors too. I may not know what I'm doing, but I promise you I will try anything. And I'm not afraid to be the first one to screw it up either. So there is that. All right, guys. Until next time. Peace, love, books, crazy, and yeah, all that. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff that gets me in the analytics according to my reading. And someday I'm going to know this platform, I promise. I'm even learning how to live stream. It's going to be fantastic, I think. Bye, guys.